Mitt Romney, the Republican Party's flip-flopping, facotronic android, made an important speech about the role of religion in American life. Standing in front of something like 12 American flags, Mitt declared that religion is basically awesome. So awesome is religion that Mitt doesn't want us to spoil it with questions about gold plates, celestial heavens, magical underwear, or other basic tenets of his Mormon faith. Now, when John Kennedy made a similar speech as a Catholic presidential candidate, he wanted to underline the separation between church and state. Whereas Mitt Romney is basically pandering to certain elements within the religious right who would like to see the complete integration of church and state. You know, the way they have it in some parts of the Middle East. And you know how well that's working out, right? Maybe we should take a leaf out of their book. Or, given their book, maybe not. Basically, Mitt Romney wants to say all the right things about faith to get himself elected, but he doesn't have the crypto-Christian cojones in his magical Mormon underwear to answer any questions about it. What Mitt did say, somewhat controversially, and probably with the help of his speechwriters, was that just as religion requires freedom, so does freedom require religion. So presumably, if he does get elected, all the non-believers will be rounded up and made to work as domestic servants to the devout, thus freeing up all the God-botherers to spend more time pleading for celestial intervention on the outcome of certain sporting events and giving the suicide bombers shout out of choice, God is great, God is great. And speaking of freedom and religion, it's worth remembering that up until 1978, African Americans weren't allowed to hold priesthood in the Church of Latter-day Saints. So if not having religion means you can't have freedom, I guess you can only hope to be enslaved by some polyamorous pagans or some devotees of the flying spaghetti monster. But perhaps we should give Mitt the benefit of the doubt. After all, he is a former bishop in the Mormon Church. And as a former bishop, he almost certainly wears the prescribed Mormon undergarments. Mitt Romney, a man who wears religious underwear, and a man who equates religion with freedom. That being the case, maybe his message is that all Americans should have the opportunity to wear freedom underpants. And if that's the case, Mitt Romney and your freedom underpants, I salute you. This video is supplied for underpants purposes only. Personally, I prefer boxer briefs, but theologically, I'm going commando. You can take away my mythical Mormon underpants, but you'll never take away my freedom. And on that note, if none of that made any sense to you, you'll just have to Google Mormon undergarments and then it'll all make sense. Anyway, if you enjoyed that video, don't forget to rate it. Personally, I would give it 5 theological thongs. That's 5 theological thongs. See you next time. Cheers.